Hello, welcome back to another edition of the Rough Mix Podcast. It is your host, Esteban Trunks. We've got Coach Koopa, Eli, and Vic. Today, we are going to be discussing the best organizing tips, and either for producing or for mixing, either use FL or Pro Tools or any DAW, really. It's just all file organization. It has nothing to do with the DAW you use, more about how to go ahead and organize it yourself to either improve your workflow, or if you're sending a session out, it looks a lot cleaner for the person viewing it. So I think first we'll go ahead and start off with Vic, just because he's got to go in a bit. So we're going to let Vic go ahead and talk first and give his 2 cents on how he organizes his beats and his sessions. So Vic, if you would please do so and let the people know and let the people hear what they want to hear.
All right. So I'll start with how I organize my beats. So this is what I not recently, but started like 4 months ago, 5 months ago. But it's been working and it helps hella. So like what I'll always do is, so I have an FL Studio folder, okay, all my FL stuff. And then inside that folder, I have one that's the aliases to my packs folder, my Electrobanks, and all that stuff. So anytime I get a new pack from online or something, I just drag and drop in there. I don't have to go looking. It's always in my FL folder. So then on top of that, inside there, I have a completed folder and an incompleted folder. Inside the completed folder, I have MP3 folder, WAV folder, and FLP folder. FLP is just the FL Studio file that it's made to be. So then I can organize it there. So I put all my finished MP3s, all my finished WAVs, all my FLPs. Because when I'm sending emails and I'm sending beats, I always send MP3s because it sends easier. And I don't have to like go looking and then accidentally click one and be like, oh, fuck, that's the WAV. Yeah, that shit's annoying. So very easy to organize. Then I have an incompleted beats folder, and that's all my incompleted ones. And then anytime I save a beat, I always save it by the name, the BPM, and the key of the song. And that's pretty much how I do it for FL. Pretty easy like that. And then how I do my Pro Tools stuff. So for Pro Tools, same thing. I have a Pro Tools folder. And then for my Pro Tools folder, inside I have a mixes folder. I have a bounces folder. And then I have one for the studios I work at. Like I have one right now that says studio that I was at. And then I have one that says like RMP for RoughMix. Shout out RoughMix. So how I save my sessions, I always save them by the artist first, artist name, the song, or like the song they're doing. And then if it's very in-depth, like if I'm only tracking them out, I'll put tracking. And if I'm not tracking, then I'll put mixing. If I'm not mixing, I'll put, whatever the fuck it is. But I usually just do that. And then I put the date and then I save it. And then every time I open my session, you can kind of see right here, I always color code it, always like that, keep it organized. Because if you have to think twice with your brain, it's one extra step you got to use brain power. It gives you what? No. Sorry, someone's knocking on my door. Anyways, so like I was saying, I color code it and I do all that stuff. And that's how I save it to keep it organized. So, yeah.
That was very good. I also want to say, yo, don't be treating D like that, dog. That's my boy. Don't be yelling at D like that. That's all I'm saying. All right, my dog, Coach Koopa.
All right, what's up? So yeah, I'm gonna just talk about how I organize beats, beat FLPs, things like that. So first of all, since I work through FL Studio, I have 3 folders. I have beat FL, or actually 4 folders, depending on how you work. So I have currently working on as a folder, which is all the FLPs that are just like ideas or things that I put down but never finished. And those are basically like, they can be anything from literally a hi-hat pattern that I thought was hella sick but didn't do anything else to it, or all the way to like a fully completed beat that just hasn't been tracked out yet. So that all goes under currently working on. And then I have finished beat FLPs, which are fully tracked out beats that, like are ready to go, ready to send anyone if they need them. And I'll say how I organize those in a bit, but then I have another folder for finished beat MP3s, and then finished beat in waves, so like wave files. And yeah, those are like the 4 main folders that I organize my beats into. So on the finished beat FLPs though, I basically name the beat. I do an abbreviation for Coach Koopa, so I just do CC. Then I put a dash, and I put, for BeatStars purposes, it makes you tag 3 artists you can hear on a beat. So I think of 3 artists that I could hear on that beat, and so I do CC dash 1 artist, put a little X since the file thing doesn't accept like the and symbol. So I put, let's say Young Thug X Lil Uzi X Juice World. Then I put the BPM, so like 138 BPM, for example. And then I'll do key like D sharp minor or something. Then put another dash and do what I'm naming the beat. So like, I don't know, trapping or something. And then, that'll be my saved beat FLP name. And then when I render that out to MP3 or WAV, I do another little dash next to the name to say whether it's an MP3 or WAV. And then I'll divvy that up into whatever folder it needs it. But this is really important to have for the artist. When you're sending a beat out, you want the key in there and you want the BPM in there. Those are like the 2 most important things. That helps the artist, that helps the engineer, and it's just a habit you should definitely get into. And yeah, that's pretty much the organization that I have. I suggest keeping it on 1 or more drives, or 2 or more drives. Never to the cloud. Honestly, I hate the cloud because that shit gets hacked, and then there you go. There's all your beats on everything. That's how artists get their stuff leaked most of the time, is they just keep it on the cloud, and that shit's easy to hack. So yeah, have it on like 2 drives. And if you're the type of producer that makes melodies and you're like rendering out loops, I also have a folder for like my loops. I have a folder for like drum kits. I do purchase drum kits, free drum kits, whatever. I just make those folders. My loops, I have my loops. If I'm making my own drum kit, it says like Coach Koopa drum kit called whatever. I divvy up that, just like think about getting organized, like everything's separate. Make sure you keep it separate and make sure you keep it really clean. You want to minimize the clicks as well that you get to like whatever you need to. So if I have my beats, then I click on that and it's 4 folders currently working on finished beat FOPs, MP3s, waves, 1 other click, and you're already at you're already at what you want to see. So yeah, just keep it simple, keep it organized, keep it clean. Minimize the space in which all these takes. You don't want to get confused. You don't want someone else to get confused. Yeah, just keep it simple. That's all I got to say.
You should keep your phone on mute too. Tired of hearing that. I say that every episode. It's all right. He doesn't listen. There's a bunch of children I have to deal with. No one knows what I have to put up with when I do these. No one understands what I have to put up with. So for me,
always give the engineer a hard time if you can. Just by the way.
There you go. Never put the key. Never put the BPM. Put the BPM, but put it like way off. And they'll have so much fun. No, but don't ever do that. You'll never get clients. No one's ever gonna want a beat from you again. But the way I do my FLPs, literally, if no one has noticed, Jordan and Vic both do it somewhat similar. So this is what I want everybody to know, is that we all kind of have the similar style because we've all learned from each other. We've all learned from YouTube videos. We've all learned from so it's all kind of similar in a way. So like all of us all have a FLP folder or a FL Studio folder. In the FL Studio folder, I'm just gonna say, I guess the way I do it.
If that hurt somebody's ears for yelling, I was yelling because I had my headphones on. So
we just got interrupted by someone. I don't know. I'm actually gonna cut him out the video, so it doesn't matter.
I don't think you came through. I think your thing was on mute before that.
Oh, okay.
I don't think there was no yelling. It was just Esteban talking.
All right. Okay.
What? I don't know. Oh, I think he meant when he yelled at his brother. That's Vic leaving. Peace out. But okay. So my the way I organize my FL folder, right? So here we go. From I have a FL Studio folder on my desktop. In the FL Studio folder, I have FLPs. Actually, no, I lied. I don't have a FL Studio folder. I have a FLP folder. So I put all my FLPs in there. So, and then in my FLP folder, I have an incompleted beats and a completed beats. So Incompleted is when I have an idea, like Jordan was saying. If I have a melody and I can't seem to figure out the drums yet, or if I have a hi-hat pattern or a drum pattern where I just have drums, like that's just ideas that are not finished. Or maybe I have a beat almost done, but I have to finish tracking it out. Because I had to go somewhere. I wasn't in the mood to finish tracking it out. That's an idea. That's an incompleted beat. It's not done. And then I have a completed beat. My completed beats FLPs where the whole thing is literally done, tracked out. I exported it into a wave and MP3, and it's all ready to go on YouTube and BeatStars and to be sent out to people. That's my completed FLP. So, also I think just those two. That's all I have. And I also do the same thing as Jordan. I have a loop kit. I don't really make loops. I make a lot of melodies, but I never really render them out and would make a loop kit like Jordan. And I never thought about I never thought I would do that, I guess, because I never really considered myself a loop maker or anything. But whenever I think of anything cool that I make, and it's like a beat I make, I might just render it out. And then, people have different styles, like my style is different than Jordan's. My style is different than Vic's and Eli's. So my loop could be like 155 BPM, but out of nowhere, like someone else changed it to different BPM. It's a little slower, a little faster. It's different drum style. It's a different, there's a lot of things that people could do differently than you. So I would consider rendering it out, make your own loop kit. You never know. You could send it to your friends, send it off for collabs. That's another way of then promoting yourself into networking, which is our previous episode. If you haven't seen that, go check out episode 16, How to Network, part 2. So also, if you've seen this far, go ahead and hit the thumbs up and don't ever hit the thumbs down or else I will never make another video. Actually, now that I said that, everybody's going to click thumbs down. But no, so subscribe, thumbs up, for real. It helps us grow out. It helps us grow. We take a lot of time doing these, all right? So we all really appreciate it if you would like it. If you're watching this on audio platforms, streaming services, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Or no, Spotify, you can only like it and put it to a playlist. So like it, put it to a playlist. If you're on Apple Music, go ahead and give it 5 stars. Add it to your favorite playlist and share us on everything. But before I interrupted myself, the way I do my FL Studios, so and then I also have a wave. So on my desktop, I have waves and MP3s. So I have it's called Trunks Beats because my name's Broad Trunks. So I put Trunks Beats. I have a MP3 folder and I have a wave folder. But in my MP3 folder, I have genres of beats I make. So I make a lot of boom bap beats. I make a lot of like G-funk beats. I make like trap beats, and then I have like reggaeton on there and R&B. And so like if I ever do end up making those genres, I haven't, but I'm not afraid of getting in that realm. So like I want to try to do everything. So I try to organize it by genre, and then I'll put them whenever I'm done with exporting the beat. I export it to my desktop as both. If you didn't know this, we'll do a video on it later. But you can when you export your beat, you could export it as a wave and MP3 at the same exact time. So I do that, and then I put it to my desktop, and then I just put it in the folder that it's currently needed to be in. Like if it's an MP3, put it in my MP3s, and then put it in the genre it falls under, and vice versa with the wave. So that's the way I organize my FLPs and my beats, and then my loop kit as well. I have my loop kit underneath my alias pack, like Vic was saying. And if you can't really understand what we're saying, we'll make these will all be videos that we're going to recreate. Every episode, honestly, we can go ahead and make like a visual for you on YouTube and try to help you guys out understand. Like if you guys I know it's really hard hearing and then visualizing what we're saying, I guess, especially because some of us have Windows, some of us have Mac. I guess it's sort of the same thing, but on Mac you have an alias, on Windows you have like a copy of it. It's just called. I guess it's just like a copy of it. So when you're hearing alias in your Windows, you're like, whoa, what is he saying by alias? I don't know what he means. But an alias is just a copy of folder that you can put in a different location, and it's just you could. So if I have a, you know what, I'm not even gonna explain it. Just it's a copy of it.
It's like if I'm just gonna. There's a lot of shout outs to the gamers. It's like Portal. You throw it into one side, it's gonna pop up on the other side, right? You got your little FLP, and you drop it into your alias copy. It's gonna pop up anywhere your other project, all that stuff is. Wherever the other folder is, the original folder, it's gonna be there. And if you know file hierarchy already for other things like games or, like Adobe or whatever you're using, you already know about file hierarchy and like copies. But for other people who don't, that's what it is.
There you go. Thank you, Eli. I really appreciate you. But that's pretty much it for my FL Studio for making beats. It doesn't necessarily have to be FL Studio for you. You know, you can do the same thing with any DAW. Just have a DAW that has incompleted beats, completed beats, and then render out the wave at MP3 the way you want it to. I have genres. Jordan and them didn't have genres, but I don't know why. I just thought it would be like cleaner, and it's kind of not in the same way because now I have a bunch of folders in my folder. So like I don't know if people are anti folder and folder and folder kind of thing. So I don't know. It's each its own, but I just keep it like that because it's kind of a little more organized for me. But that's just me, and you might be different. You might just not want genres. You might just want all your beats in there. So that's what I do for FLPs. Now to move on to Pro Tools, I'll make it quick. Every time I open a Pro Tools session, I name the artist. I put the artist name first. I put the name of the song, and I put what we're doing that day. Are we mixing? Are we tracking? Are we mastering? You know, and like that's what I name it. So I'll put the artist name, then I'll put the name of the song, and then I'll put tracking, mixing, or mastering, whatever I'm doing that day. So that's what I'll do. That's how I'll name the song, and that's pretty much how I start up my session. I like load it up, you know. And the same thing as Eli and Vic we're both all going to say the same thing about the coloring tracks. You know, I always have the same. My beat is always the same color. No, I'm not gonna lie. I change the beat color every time. But the recording or tracking, whatever you want to call it, I always make it red just because, you know, red's the record button. I just make it red. It's just easy. My vocal, I have like a dark blue, like a light blue. That's like my lead vocal. Then I have a hook like a dark or like a bright green, and then ad libs like yellow or something. Like maybe you don't like that color scheme. Maybe you're colorblind. Maybe you want a different color. You know, pick whatever you want. And you will see like it'll help out and later on like you'll be like, oh, you know, instead of looking for it, you just see it. You know, you don't have to read the name, you just know the color and they're like, oh, yep, that's blue, that's lead vocal. So I think that's how like people should do it. At least for me, that's my opinion. Is color your tracks, and then I always name it LV for lead vocal. Make acronyms, you know, abbreviations for everything. Lead vocal. Yeah, so basically a lead vocal, and then I'll do hook, and then I do ad libs, and then I'll put like overdub if they want to like put a layer. If they want to do layers, I'll call them overdubs. If they want, you know, it just depends. Like you got to work with the artist. I know an artist like who likes to always record with a low pitch and then a high pitch of their lead vocal. So then you make a low and a high. You know, make your template however the artist considers, but. I'm also going to be making a video. I'm setting myself up for so many videos, but I'll make another video. I know. I think we said we were going to make a video in like almost every video. I'm pretty sure there's like 20 videos we've said we were going to do, and we haven't done them. But don't worry, we will be putting them out. But just subscribe and like, and you'll be seeing them soon. I had to throw that one in there. But that's pretty much all I do. So Pro Tools is pretty easy. I just name the session, the name of the artist, and the name of the song and what we're doing that day. I don't put the date because for some reason the number throws me off and I don't know, it freaks me out whenever I see the number. That's just me personally. And that's pretty much it for me. So, another thing is do the metadata for the when you export, when you bounce it, you know, like put the artist name. Don't just skip it over and put okay or whatever, you know. Put the name of the song, put the artist, put like maybe where you recorded it at or you mixed it at, or, you know, like just do that, the date, and there you go. Like you'll save that instead of you putting the date in the track, you put in the metadata and it's there. So that's just what I'm saying. And then I'll leave it off to Eli and we'll wrap this one up.
Yeah, that was actually really good to include the metadata because I've had to do that now for bouncing like, you know, songs to be released on the platforms, you know, streaming platforms for people that I've worked with. So that's actually a really good point. You can do it for the beat too. For people who don't know, you can do it for the beat, and you can embed the BPM. You can embed the key. You can everything. Is my mic level good? Does it sound all right? Okay, cool. All right. Well, it's going to be kind of embarrassing because these guys all have really good hierarchy for their FLPs. Mine is the project alias folder. All right. Well, I'm pretty big on aliases. I learned this from a YouTube video. I learned it one time and I used it for everything. Whenever you have a bank that you or not a bank, I'm sorry, whenever you have like a place that you're storing banks for VSTs or drum kits, your packs on FL, to say, make the alias and put it on your desktop, or put it wherever you go to a lot. If you don't like desktop, put it in your documents, whatever you want, but it's already going to be in documents most of the time if it's a folder. Put an alias on your desktop, and that way every time you download a drum kit, every time you buy a VST and you get a bank or you get this or that, you just throw it in there like we were saying, it's a portal. You throw it in and boom, it's right there. You don't have to go through the 5. You don't have to go to FL Studio and then into audio and then into data and then to people who have done it from the beginning and did it like that. In the beginning, every time I would download a drum pack, click, 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 all the way through until I got, and then drag it in. Now it's drag one time. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Work smarter, not harder. Like like everyone always says. It's the same thing even when you're on computers and you're just clicking around. You're sitting here, but everything takes up time, and organization is time. That's time management. It's knowing where your stuff's at when you have a session. And I'm actually really guilty of this. When I have a session and people want to hear beats, and I go in and I click a beat and I'm like, oh, this is really sick, and it's a loop. It's a really cool loop, and it's done. Like Jordan was saying, like that was his like working on beats. It's done, but I haven't tracked it out. Oh, well, if you want to use it, I could track it out. Okay, well, there's 10 more minutes. There's 15 more minutes. Oh, they don't like the clap. There's all this stuff. Don't get lazy. I mean, like that's easier said than done, but like don't get lazy, at least when you're making folders. I need to be better with where I put stuff for FLPs, but I'm really good with naming. And that's one thing I was going to get into. Make sure you name everything accordingly. And I'm just going to keep it simple, like everything, even into mixing, like Esteban was saying, track names, naming your session. I'm big for sessions, at least on mixing. I'm big on putting the date first, because when I click onto an artist that I have a lot of songs with, like I have one artist who I have like 15 sessions now with him. When I click on it, I want to see the date, because the most recent one's going to pop up right there. And I'm like, all right, that's that. Sometimes I send him a session, and when he gets it on his phone, he changes the song name. And then he's like, hey, can you send me a mix of this song? And I'm like, I don't have that song. He's like, yeah, you do. It's called this. Oh, okay. Boom. I just click on that right there. But if he sends me a name and I'm like, well, is it the most recent song? Yeah. All right. Well, I just go right there, and I know it's that. So naming is really big. Like Jordan was saying, name it something that it sounds like an artist you like. What I do is I name it sometimes the name of the preset, if that makes sense. Like if you have Omnisphere, Nexus, Analog Lab, all this, name your tracks, presets, name all that stuff. I put stems. I put the MIDI stems whenever I make a beat. I got this from Jordan. I put the MIDI stems of what I was doing onto a sampler track, and I just mute the sampler track and I name it, Analog Lab keys, dimension preset, whatever it's called. And then if I go on there and I see my waveform and I'm like, oh man, like that's sick. How did I make that? Okay, well, it's right there. And I have it, and I can use it again with another preset. If I don't like it, I can change it and I still have it. I don't have to play it again. All this stuff. And you'll learn this stuff as you go. But yeah, stay organized. A little trick, if you don't know about stereo, 1 is left, 2 is right. If you always follow that, especially with sessions, if you have 2 tracks, you're always going to stay organized. Damn, I don't know why I can't say that right now. Twisting my tongue up. But yeah, we all have similar stuff. I still, even though I am not as organized with my FLPs, I am organized with like MP3s, like bouncing it to where it needs to be, naming it like I was saying. So keep it simple. Put your folders in the right places, color code if it helps you. I didn't color code for a while, but now that I do it, I can't not. Once you do it, you're gonna like it. It's gonna make sense. It's gonna help, especially for people that like things to be organized. God damn, I cannot say it. I just don't even want to say it anymore. Yeah, we're gonna change the name of this episode on behalf of me. But yeah, keep it simple and just name it accordingly. That's all I'm gonna say. Just don't try to name your beat always some crazy name, because you're gonna go back and be like, what? Keep the BPM, keep the key, and you'll probably be able to know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think being clean and organized, just like in life, and I feel like it clears your head, and you don't have to worry about stress. Or when you look at your FLPs, you're like, oh my god, like You know, like I don't know, like what beat did I last work on? What was this beat called? I don't remember any. Like you know, like there's so many things that when I first started, I was like, wait, what did I call that beat? And then you go through and click every single FLP. You click every single FLP, and then you're like, oh, I finally found it. Instead of doing that, you remember the song name, you remember the BPM or the key or whatever, or maybe or what you called it, yeah, like the song name or beat type or anything.
If you go on my first hard drive, half of it's like cool, crazy sound FLP. Like you're never, don't do that. Even though you want to, or if you get lazy, just any artist, just think of one artist and put the BPM that you have. You're gonna save yourself so much time when you go back to it. Don't get lazy. It's the easiest stuff. You just made a whole beat. You just spent 45 minutes on a beat. You want to lose it now because you don't want to name it. Like, just spend that extra 5-10 seconds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I honestly, Jordan helped me out a lot with the organization of beats, the way he named his beat. Because I don't know if anybody knows about this website. I'm pretty sure a lot of people do if they're making beats. But Track Train, I used to put my beats on Track Train, and every time I would put my beat on Track Train, or at least not every time. I don't know what I was trying to get through with that. But I meant to say when you upload to Track Train, it's not like BeatStars where they give you name 3 tags of artists you could put on there, you know. And like when Jordan told me that, and I moved over to BeatStars. Not saying I hate Track Train, but I just moved over because he was using it, and I was like, oh, I might as well put myself on somewhere else. And he was telling me that you could put 3 tags, so I would put 2 to 3 artists that I could hear on the beat, and that helped me out so much. Like it literally helped me out so much. And I think that what we're all trying to say when we're talking about the organization and how it makes it cleanly, like I said earlier, clean head or a clean mind, you know, like will help you produce so many more ideas. I feel like so if you literally just spend one whole day on organizing your FLPs, your MP3s, your waves, or your whole like laptop or your desktop or your hard drive or whatever itself, I think like going forward in the future, getting that mindset of being like organized and ready, you know, you prepare yourself for like bigger things. Because the thing about in 10 years when you have all those beats, are you really going to be able to know? Are you going to be able to remember like where your beats are at, where they go, where your folders are at? Like, you know, like you got to know that for the future, and it's just going to help you out in the long run. So start now, start early, and if not, fix everything that you had before. Like I had to do that. It took me like 2 days to do all my beats, all my FLPs. My Pro Tools session is not much because I learned that pretty early on. My teacher literally, we had like a whole like 2 days of class of just learning how to like file organization and names and all that. So learn that, and we'll have videos on it and everything. But FLPs and mixing sessions, pretty much put them on your desktop, have alias folders for your packs and your anything like that you put inside FL Studio. Besides that, staying organized in both beat making and engineering has its ups, and I can only think of ups. I can't think of any downs. So just do it because it's going to make your life so much easier. I guarantee you. And for now, this has been the Rough Mix Podcast. We're not signing out because I want everybody to like the YouTube video right now. Last video I said 10. This video I want 15. I'm aiming high. If you don't aim high, you got to say it. You got to preach it. What is that? I forgot the saying, but you got to like speak it into existence is what I'm trying to say. So I want 15 likes on this video. I want 4,500 subscribers. I want 4,500 subscribers. No, I'm just kidding. But
By tomorrow.
For real though, 88% of you aren't subscribed. 88% of you watching this video right now are not subscribed. So subscribe. It's free. Who doesn't like free stuff? Subscribe. It's free. Like it. It's also free. It helps us out. Think about the karma. If you like and subscribe, it gives good karma to yourself. And think about the future. And if you want to make beats, you have to subscribe to us. If you want to make it, if you want to make it in engineering and making beats and making money, hit that like and subscribe button one time. And I guarantee you it'll help you out. I'm not gonna just kidding. I'm not gonna guarantee it. But please, yo, if we get 100 subs, we're doing a giveaway. That's all I'm saying. If we get 100 subs by the end of June, we'll do a giveaway. That's all I'm saying. My birthday's in June, so you know, for my birthday, that birthday money gonna hit. You know, $25. I'll buy some a bag of hot Cheetos or something. No, but for real, this has been the Rough Mix Podcast. We just like to have fun. But for real, like we say, I'm gonna say this every episode. Stay consistent, grind, numbers. This has been the Rough Mix Podcast, and we're signing out.